Hey Gemini, welcome to your tarot session. Thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you for your patience. We're going to dive right into your reading. Make sure to like, subscribe, join the family. It really makes a difference. So thank you in advance for that. Okay. Gemini, let's see what's the general energy for you in the present moment. I guess the cards are showing up. What you need to know this moment, the Death card and the Wheel of Fortune, I'm kind of lost for words seeing this. It's interesting how the Death card to me is always about a rebirth. It's never about an ending. It's the compost pile of the tarot. So something transformed, and then the wheel is turning. And the Wheel of Fortune is about our center. It's like this inner compass that moves and guides us somewhere. So clearly you're going through major times right now because you have two major cards as your general energy. They flew out of the deck very fast. So it feels like there's this urgent message wanting to come through for you. Something isn't over. That's the thing with the Death card. Sometimes our perception is that something's over, something's done, something has been taken away from us. It's never going to happen. We are accepting that we're not going to get what we want or that we lost something, but actually it's transforming at the time. Always remember this, again, this imagery of the compost pile. It looks bad. It is ugly, but eventually life will come out of it. And the Wheel of Fortune guiding you somewhere specific. So it feels like you're about to connect all the dots of your story and realize how everything led you to this specific moment, this moment of synchronicity. The Wheel of Fortune is the most esoteric card in the tarot. It's internal but external also. When the changes happening within us are going to be matching externally, the internal change reflecting in the external. Okay, I need to know more about this. Very, very mysterious pull here. Very mysterious energies at work for you, Gemini. It feels like someone is kind of getting a moment of realization, like, okay, how did I get here? I know I've worked hard for this, but it feels miraculous. And look at that. The Emperor is here, another major card. And this card is about new life, a new beginning. This is where you are right now in the present moment, a completely new reality. On the other side of this transformation, which hasn't been easy. And it's like you're contemplating something. You're looking back at the past and connecting all the dots again. Emperor is connected to Aries. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. So it's the primal scream of a baby being born. It's this sense of, here I am, taking up more space in the world because there is a place for you. That's the thing. Lover's card at the bottom of the deck. So you're not alone in this new beginning. You're communicating, connecting, interacting, collaborating with some type of energy. And the Emperor is nothing without the Empress. It's Mars, and Mars needs Venus to be complete. So either you feel like there's something missing in your life, you want to experience life with someone, or you feel like there's this missing piece, or you could be beginning something also. Look at that. We have the Four of Cups. So there's something that's being offered to you, and what's coming up is a no. Because Four of Cups is always about saying no. It's embodying a no. It's honoring that right now we are busy. You know, a lot of people see this card and say, you're not seeing what's right in front of you. And that is total bullshit. This is probably the worst interpretation of any cards in the tarot. Like, you're not an idiot. You can see that something is being offered to you. There's a clear invitation, either from someone or the universe. And you want to say no. It's not easy to say no when we don't want to hurt people. We don't want to miss out on anything. But when you see this card, it is essential that you honor your emotional boundaries. If you're going through too much right now, if you feel like you're dealing with enough, it's essential that you say no to whatever is being offered. You're not going to miss out on anything. You're actually making more space for what is meant for you. It feels like it's saying, look at the bigger picture. You don't have to settle for less. You don't have to be scared that you're going to miss out on something. Again, with the Death card, we're constantly challenged emotionally because we have to embrace this transformation completely instead of settling for less and saying yes to everything that's being offered because we're so scared that it's over for us. We're never going to be loved again in the same ways. We're never going to be experience success in the same ways. I noticed that the Death card and the Four of Cups, they come up a lot together when you're getting to this point in your life where you feel like you've experienced everything. You're like, am I going to feel that level of joy, love, happiness again? The answer is yes. You haven't seen anything. You haven't seen a fragment of the joy and the love and the excitement. Look at that, the Judgment card and the Strength card. So many majors coming up for you. So this Four of Cups is very important. Again, everything starts from a no. And we have to be open. We have to remember that saying no is not negative. Again, we are making space for something that is destined with the Judgment card. So you might be judged. You might feel like you're being judged, or you could be judging yourself. Again, saying no to something. Why am I always negative? Why am I always blocking myself from expansion? No, you are being careful. Again, you are not settling for less. Something feels destined here. And the moment you honor that you have enough on your plate, you honor those emotional boundaries, something opens up for you, some type of a new path, a different path. Again, it is destined. The Judgment card is always something being excavated, something mysterious, or sometimes it's something from the past. It's coming up to the surface and it's a rebirth, literally. So we have this sense of something's over and then it goes through a rebirth. And the Strength card is here. The heart. This card is all about the heart. It's the sun, it's our truest self, and it's the completion of a transformation. We have the infinity loop here on the top of this person's head. So a completion, a new cycle that begins. And the Strength card seems so lovely because there are flowers everywhere. I feel like traditionally this card is known for being quote unquote good. There's actually no good or bad cards in the tarot. They represent a full spectrum, each card. But we have to remember that this person is handling a lion. There's something about our primal instinct here. There's something about real strength, the inner strength, the physical strength, everything intertwined together. And I would say self-control around something. Again, it's going to be so easy for you, I would say in the next few days, to settle for less. You're going to feel like you're being tested by the universe. And this reading is helping you set yourself up for the best aligned future. I invite you to take your time when you receive an invitation, an email. If someone comes back from the past, again, we feel with the Judgment card like the past is coming back to life. There's a rebirth. Sleep on it. You don't owe anyone an answer, super fast. Sleep on it. Give yourself the time to feel into this invitation, because there is something better waiting for you on the other side of this no. And again, it's not about being negative. It's about recalibrating the scale. And the fear of missing out has made you say yes to everything, Gemini. The fear of being negative, the fear of maybe not being loved. And 4 is all about boundaries. 4 is the number of boundaries. So a lot of people have been benefiting from you not embodying your boundaries. And a light is being shined on that right now. And I think this is going to help you, again, start fresh, follow this new path. And the 5 of Cups is at the heart of this reading. The 5 of Cups has been following you a lot in readings, Gemini. And this is such an important card because it's the process of grieving, accepting grief in our lives. I always say this is about making space for grief at our table, which is a very important process and layer of healing. Grief is this massive rock that we carry with us for the rest of our lives. We become stronger carrying it. You know, I have this image of a baby, because my younger sister just had a baby and I've been spending a lot of time with her. And, you know, the first time I picked up her baby and I was carrying it for like hours, it was so heavy. And then the more I do it, the lighter he feels. And that's exactly what those type of feelings are. It becomes easier to carry because we're working with them. We become stronger. And again, with the strength card, it's the inner and physical strength. So there's something here. I don't know why, but this message from the body is coming up. You know, I don't see any pentacles here. And to me, that's always an invitation from the body. Do you need more sleep? Is there something that, you know, needs to happen physically? Stretching, walking, more sleep, drinking more water, like those fundamental thing, foundational things. There's something here. And I think that you're working on finding some type of balance between the physical, the emotional, and probably the mental also. An area, a theme in your life is like very, very nourished. And there's a part of you that has been forgotten, and it could be the emotional or physical. And I'm sure the cards will tell us more about that. But we still have expansion. We go from the 4 of Cups to the 5 of Cups. It's not like you're taking a step back. It's not like you're dealing with this wave of grief. I think it's about acceptance. And when we, again, embody a no, when we take the time to sleep on something, to check in with ourselves, is this a yes? Is this a no for me? I think it helps us become stronger with all other themes in life. And again, grief is part of that. It's at the heart of your reading, again, because there's so much fear of missing out on something. And actually, it's probably the best thing that will ever happen to you, to miss out on something that wasn't meant for you in the first place. It's all about perception. And this is an important theme in this reading, the power of your perception. Look at that. Another major card is here. And the Devil card is about old beliefs. The Devil card is not evil in any way, shape, or form. It is connected to the sign of Capricorn. So this is, the Devil card is so much, but it's the fear of living our life backwards. You know, devil spelled backwards is lived. So The fear of missing out is so strong here in this session. I feel like this is one of the big themes. It has taken up so much space. It controlled so much of what you have done in the past decade, I would say. The fear of not being enough, the fear of not doing enough, the fear of waking up one day and saying, wow, I just wasted so much time. But there is healing that needs to take place more than ever. And you have to make space for that. And here you can see the chains of old beliefs about yourself, things that sometimes are inherited. Sometimes it's from society. The Devil card I've been associating a lot recently with, the big corporations that benefit from us believing that we need to reinvent ourselves, that we need to heal as fast as possible, which is all bullshit. We have to remember that, when it comes to Instagram and social media, we're constantly influenced and invited to buy stuff to heal, to be a better version of ourselves, when actually the goal is to become the truest version of ourselves, not the best. That's total bullshit. There's no best. We're never going to get to a point where we're like, everything is perfect. I am full on the best version of me. There's always room for improvement. But to live and really embody this true essence of us, I think is attainable, really. It's to cultivate and nurture that and maintain that is a lot of hard work. And again, the Devil card is connected to Capricorn, the constant work, the work in progress of something. So it feels again like I don't know if you inherited those beliefs. Like, don't be negative, don't dwell on the past. There's this pressure to heal and to not think about the past, to not grieve someone anymore, to just move on. That it makes you weak if you still think about the past, if you're still healing and dealing with, very deep emotional blockages. It doesn't make you weak, Gemini. I think that the most important thing here is self-awareness. To identify those chains is the first step of the Devil card. It's to identify the chains of old beliefs in order to eventually break them. But the chains are loose here. It's not like you need to break them overnight. Again, it's about identifying, it's about self-awareness. And what's happening here is that you're becoming aware of something. You're becoming aware of the liars and the snakes and the things you inherited, the things that are not true, and that everything kind of reprogram your brain in a certain way. And now you just want to move very, very far away from what was expected of you. I think this is what you're doing now. Yeah, and the Knight of Wands is here. So moving very far away from what was expected of you in order to move eventually in a way that is aligned with your truest self. Knight of Wands is very connected to the Strength card, this fire, again, this inner light, the truest version of ourselves. And the Knights are about movement, how we move in the world. So this question is being answered here by this Knight. All Knights are like a compass. They are tarot hacks. So what the Knight is holding in your reading here is a wand. It's fire. So what does your heart tells you? Not your brain, not old beliefs, not social media, not your parents, not your boss, not your ex, your partner, your heart. And to access that, we need to be more self-aware. We need to, again, work with the grief. We need to respect our boundaries. There's a lot of things that you are learning to kind of apply. It feels like there are some type of revelations that you're experiencing this week, and it helps you tap into this inner light for real. And I'm hearing for the first time ever, working hand in hand with the truest version of yourself. And it's like you're meeting someone new. Yeah, Six of Pentacles is here. So your values, your own value as a person, but also your value system, your values. So there's something here that has changed, because 6 is the number that comes after the change. So we go from knowing to understanding, and we apply certain change, and we recalibrate the scales in that way. So whatever felt like it was missing, which I'm sure you can identify now, because you clearly you know yourself. So if I ask you, what has been missing in your life? What do you need more of? That's what you're getting. But you have this call, there's this mission here to also identify what you need less of in your life. And to slowly work around that, to slowly, take out some of the negative stuffs, some of the heaviness, the blockages, however you want to call that. You've been adding a lot of the good stuff, but now it's time to suppress, to kind of delete some of the toxic things that kept you back. Again, some of the chains of old beliefs that kept you living your life backwards. And we have the 7 of Pentacles. So again, there's this constant growth. We have 4, 5, 6, 7. There's this constant growth with you. And 7 of Pentacles reminds us that the day we plant the seeds is not the day we eat the fruit. So you could be manifesting something. You could feel like you're doing everything right. So when are you going to get your payoff? When are you going to get your good karma? I'm hearing this lyric of SZA in her song Saturn. She's like, if karma is really, really real, where's my reward? We're constantly waiting on some type of reward. 7s are about waiting for something external to confirm to us that we changed, that we did good. The thing is, you're going to have to find this validation within yourself, Gemini. And that is the hard work. We constantly create new goals. And I have my Venus in Gemini. I have a lot of Gemini in my chart, so I know like this forward thinking, constantly wanting to achieve. And when we get to this goal, when we achieve a huge goal, or sometimes just, a smaller normal goal, that's just, again, perception. When we get there, a lot of the times we don't even celebrate. We celebrate for like a second, and then we're like, okay, what's next? And we feel like there's something missing. We need that constant external validation in order to feel like we're succeeding. But that is an illusion. So really, illusions are dissolving for you. And it's like you've been moving through life with a gauze over your eyes, and now you can see clearly, okay, those are the chains that kept me living my life backwards. And your reality is completely different. This is a new reality on the other side of your biggest transformation yet. Again, all the major cards are confirming that this is probably one of your biggest, if not the biggest transformation that you've ever experienced. It is internal, but also external. And 10 of Wands is here. 10 of Wands, like all 10s, is a completion. We are done with something. We are done carrying the burdens and the heaviness of our past. But we need to put the wands down and identify how we can do things differently. So yes, this whole reading is about change and what comes after it, but it really is about honoring that we also need to change certain things about us. It's not just the external. It's not that we need to change something about our physical appearance, that we need to necessarily clear out people out of our lives. No, it's the internal change and how slowly but surely it's shining through in the external, but the work starts within, and you know that. You're the magician in the tarot. Magician is ruled by Mercury. So Virgo and Gemini, you guys are the magician in the tarot. The magician card is as within, so without. The internal work always comes first. And the Six of Swords is here, of course. So in the traditional version of this card, you can see people on a boat leaving with a bunch of swords in the boat. But the swords do not weigh down the boat, and that's very important. So there's this, again, this fear that's coming up very strongly for you mentally because you're doing something right. That's the thing. The swords come out when the soul is in the driver's seat. This feels like a brand new soul journey, some type of a new chapter, which we constantly begin new chapter in our lives. It's a constant thing. But there's this honoring of the past. There's this acceptance here. And 6 to me is always some type of a sacred mirror. You can see now why you did certain things. You understand why you made certain decisions in the past, why you show up. You showed up maybe sometimes in a relationship or for yourself in ways that you're not so proud of. And instead of judging yourself, instead of blaming your past, your caretakers, your ancestors, circumstances, you're looking in the mirror and you're saying, it's time for me to embrace change. I'm not looking back. And I am, again, embracing change in the way that you've never done before. It really is your biggest transformation yet. Let's see. Let's see what the moon has to say for you. Has to say to you. I feel like I can't talk, Gemini. I mentioned this in the Libra reading. I've been doing baby talk for a few days with my nephew. And now I don't know how to speak. It's okay. It's worth it. We have a new romantic cycle begins. And this card always, it's connected to Venus. The scale, we have the scale here on the 6 of Pentacles. And I felt like you were rebalancing the scales. And this is really about receiving the love that we deserve. And sometimes it's about meeting someone new, falling in love with a new town, a new house, a new job. I'm not a fan of the word romantic. I think it kind of puts everything in a box, but it's about love with capital letters, and how you've been tapping into very, very deep layers of yourself, things that were hidden, things that, again, you've never knew about yourself before. And I think it's opening the door to something new. There's the entry point of new feelings, of maybe a new relationship. For some of you, it's about a job, a new town. It could be also falling in love all over again with a current partner, which happens all the time. If you've been in a long-term relationship, you know exactly what I mean. But yes, there could be the potential for new love, because on the other side of this transformation, everything is different. It's a new reality. You're going to attract different types of people. You are breaking the chain here. So try to embrace newness, even if it feels weird in the beginning, even if it's like this unknown territory and you're like, what? That's not the type of person I was usually attracted to. That's not what I was meant to be. That's open your mind to this new perspective, because it really is where the payoff is. Again, it's digging and kind of discovering new layers of you. And I think that's fabulous. I'm sending so much love, Gemini. Again, thank you for your patience, and I'll talk to you guys next week. Bye-bye.